Be sure and stay tuned for our next episode on the Pour Out Your Joy podcast. We are excited to have Tasha Schuh back with us talking about resilience. See you there. Well, we have a real treat today. One of our favorite people is back on the podcast as our guest. Tasha Schuh is with us. Tasha is a speaker, author, podcast host of Resilience with Tasha Schuh. She is a resilience coach and creator of the online course, The Path Method, Build Resilience and Thrive. Welcome back, Tasha. It is so good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me back. I've been so looking forward to this. Had so much fun last time, so this is just so exciting.
Well, and before we jump in, I wanted to say congratulations are in order. I was on your website recently, and I saw that you were inducted into the Ellsworth School Inaugural Hall of Fame, is how that was worded. And I want to hear about that. Congratulations.
Oh my God. Well, thank you. It was something that I didn't even know they were doing. And it was the first, it was the inaugural, so it was the very first. And so my high school math teacher called me. And I'm like, why is she calling me? Like, this is so weird. She's like, this is Mary Rumpel. And I'm like, okay, I'll call you back in the morning. I was busy that night. And I called her the next morning and I'm like, hi. She's like, I'm calling to let you know that you've been selected and to be nominated into my high school. It was my high school Hall of Fame. And I'm like, what? And then, of course, I start crying because I cry at everything like that. I never thought with my story and my journey that, I would help people or that I would do anything good with my life. So it meant a lot. It was really, really, and I pretty much cried through the whole ceremony, but it was all tears of joy.
What an honor.
Yeah. Special time. That's wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah, it was amazing.
So there's some new things even beyond that
Yes.
that you've been accomplishing over this last year since we've chatted with you, Tasha. You have got a new podcast or a podcast.
Right.
You are now a resilience coach and you have an online course. Well, let's talk about the podcast first.
Yes. Okay.
I can jump on that one. I want to know, first of all, how did the idea of a podcast happen, Tasha?
Well, it's something that I've pondered for a long time, and whenever I am a podcast guest, I love it. Every time I end a podcast, like where I'm a guest, I'm like, I can't wait to do that again. That was so much fun. And Bethany is my little cheerleader in the background that kept saying, Tasha, you need to do a podcast. Tasha, you could impact so many more lives. Tasha, you need to do a podcast. And I was like, I know, but the time, and just trying to, and not knowing what I was doing and kind of being scared. It was a whole different new thing for me, but it took me longer than I thought, but I did it. And I'm now in my first season, and which has been so much fun. And I love it. It's just a blast.
Mm-hmm. Well, we both have listened to it. Go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah. I binge listened because I was a few episodes behind this week, Tasha. And oh my, it was awesome to be able to listen back to back to back. I didn't miss any of the story because your story is so riveting. I just couldn't wait to get to the next episode. I was like, I can't wait to get to the next episode. And I know a lot of your story because you and I spent a lot of time together. But I'm just how you talk and how you tell your story. It's just phenomenal. So
thank you.
Thank you for jumping out and doing the scary thing.
So much. Thank you.
Oh, and by the way, I feel like you're just a natural storyteller. That's when I was listening, that's what jumped out to me. And I listened to the driving one and I was like, oh my gosh, that was a good one. There's some funny parts to that.
Thank you. And the fun part about it is that my husband is doing the editing and he's like, there's parts of this that I didn't even know. And we've been married for 13 years, so I feel like the podcast allows me to go so much more in depth than what I was even able to share in my books or especially when I'm speaking. So this really, has been fun, for me to go back and remember these stories and piece them all together so that I can share more of my story in depth. It's been just so amazingly fun.
And obviously you're doing your story first of how you got to be where you're at today and through the accident and all of that. Can you share what future seasons will look like?
Yeah, I'm really excited for the future seasons because I really felt like I couldn't go into the future like what I envisioned until I told my story. Because there's so many people that don't know my story and don't know my what I've been through and what brought me to where I am today, to really share what resilience means and really to share the power of resilience. And so I wanted to do the first season of just my story. And then the second season, I envisioned just having guests, people who have stories that have I've met so many incredible people over the years. So I cannot wait to bring them onto the podcast, and then also just invite my husband, Doug. He's going to join too. So we're going to have lots of fun with that. And so really, but all centered around resilience, which is something that I just think a lot of us don't have, but we can strengthen and build it. And when I had my accident, I did not know that the difficulties and challenges that I would face in my life would make me stronger, and they would help me become the person that I would become, and that I would be able to help others through it. And I think that's the power of resilience, is just really, I mean, it's a word that I think a lot of people aren't really clear on, and they don't really know what it means, but it's really just pushing through the difficulties. We all have difficulties, we all have challenges. And so it's learning how to get stronger so that when we face those challenges, they don't pull us down in the way that other challenges have in the past, and we get through them quicker and we come out even stronger. So that's my goal with the future podcast.
That's so good.
Tasha, when I was listening this week, there was a couple sentences that you said just totally jumped out of your podcast at me. And one was, resilience is about learning how to move forward when life doesn't look the way you planned.
Oh, yep, absolutely.
And the other one, which is in episode 5, you don't quit just because it's inconvenient. You don't quit just because it's uncomfortable. And you don't quit just because it didn't go the way you expected.
Right.
Those two are huge. You want to talk or expound on any of those?
Well, that's resilience. And I think that's, I think sometimes we complicate it. It's like a word that, even when I started doing resilience coaching, one of my friends was like, I just think people don't know what that is. And I'm like, and I get it, but I don't want to change that word or shy away from it, because I just think the more we know it and understand it and live it, the easier it is to, and I don't want to say the easier, but just we have the tools to move forward. Because I think a lot of us fear the unknown. A lot of us shy away from difficulties. Like we just want our life to be perfect, which is impossible and will never happen that way. And resilience is what helps us keep going, but push through and persevere through, not try to go around or over the top. You go through it, and when you do, you're like, oh my goodness, I made it through that. Like I can do this. Like, and it really just strengthens your life, and it makes you help others, and just does amazing things for your spirit and your mind and your soul. And that's what I've learned. So I love sharing it.
It's really getting out of your comfort zone is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And I gathered that from listening as well. So it's so good, Tasha. And I think the people who could learn from this is, I think anyone can. But I want you to talk about that a little bit, if you would.
Yeah, like who my podcast is for.
Yeah, who would benefit from it? What did you have in mind when you decided to do the podcast?
Well, for me, like you said, anyone. I think everybody needs inspiration and reminders that even in the most dire of circumstances, that we can survive and thrive. And when I was in an accident when I was 16 years old, and they told me that I would be a quadriplegic and I would never walk again. And that is like, to me, that's one of the worst of the worst. Like all the things in life that we fear, I think paralysis is one of them. And people thinking, oh, if that ever happened to me, I couldn't live, I would want to die. And that's exactly how I felt. But as I continued in my journey with my family and my friends and my faith, I just began to see like, wow, this life is actually really good. And I am so grateful that I'm here. And I think I need to share that with others. And that's really been my mission, my goal of just reminding people that there's always hope, reminding people that it's worth it to hold on. And so for the podcast audience, I just think everybody needs that. But I was also thinking of people who have had recent diagnosis, like of any kind, a major change in life, or just those that have also had spinal cord injuries or know somebody with a spinal cord injury, because it's very common. When I had my accident, I thought I was all alone. I thought nobody else had this happen in their life. And now I've just come to realize that this happens so frequently. And just those that are really struggling in life, trying to find their place, trying to find purpose. I mean, because that's really my next season will be going through PATH, which is the 4 things that really helped me get to where I am today. And that's purpose, attitude, team, and hope. And those are the, I just think that they're how we build resilience. And so giving people those tools. So again, I think it's for anybody, but especially those who are going through challenges in life could really benefit from it.
That's great. Thank you for that.
I like how you cover, like, it's a physical, but sometimes it's mental and emotional too. There's a lot of people with mental health issues. And I think your testimony, you talk about after everyone would leave and you would lay in bed, and that's when your mind would turn on and like go through all of the what ifs. You went through, what if I had done this, what if I hadn't done that. And my mama has a phrase. She's like, you can't put the milk back in the jug. Once it's spilt, it's spilt. But you know what? You made really good chocolate milk with your life.
I love it.
That's
love
good.
It. Thank you. That is, it's nothing that I ever endeavored to do. Do you know what I mean? It was like one day at a time, trusting God, trusting that there must be a plan for my future, and just seeing that unfold. I'm like, what? Like, this is crazy. I have to tell people about this. I have to share this.
Yeah. It's so cool where God puts us and what he plants in our minds to do. Yeah. So that's wonderful. But we have more to talk about. So Bethany, do you want to take
Well,
it?
I want to know all about your coaching. Can you talk a little bit about that? And what does that long-term goal look like? Do you have a lot of people you're currently coaching?
Yeah. So for me, oh my goodness, time flies so fast. It's hard to remember, but probably like a year and a half ago, we kind of just felt like a change coming. I married, my husband is Doug, and we kind of just both felt it coming. We didn't really know, like, but we were just like, whatever it is, because we travel, we speak, and traveling is sometimes challenging, sometimes taxing, especially we drive everywhere we go, because I can fly, but the airlines tend to wreck my wheelchair. So we just decided we're going to drive everywhere. And so we were kind of looking at getting off the road a little bit. And people have always approached me, like, do you coach people? I would love for you to coach me. And I'm like, no, like, my schedule's too busy. I don't have time. I don't have the availability to do that. But as we began looking at really getting off the road, I thought, man, I could really start doing this and could, supplement our income. Plus, my husband and I are, still considering looking into adopting a child. And so we, wanted to explore what our income options would be and really where God was leading us. And we just really felt coaching. So I kind of dove in headfirst, started coaching clients, and just loved it. Like, loved it. Because usually I'm speaking in front of audiences. We've been speaking in school since 2016. I've been speaking professionally in audiences of adults since 2007. And so it was just so much fun to work one-on-one with people and see true transformation, because I don't normally get to see that with large audiences. It's this huge group, and you're like, oh, I hope that resonated, and I get lots of hugs and lots of tears and lots of fist bumps afterwards, but I never know, like, beyond that. And so for me, coaching is so much fun, and I love working with someone one-on-one with their particular struggle, challenge, and helping them move forward. Now, the interesting part is that as soon as I started coaching, our speaking schedule skyrocketed, like, took off, and we were like, what? Like, I thought we were supposed to be off the road. And so, but I still am definitely coaching. I have a free community that people can join, and where we have monthly meetings. So I do a monthly meeting that people can join that's free, and just a way to share resilience. It's like a 1-hour meeting. And yeah, I'm definitely still coaching. It's just a little bit less because our speaking schedule is so busy. But I definitely would love to work with more people, and would love to just that one-on-one transformation is so powerful. It's just so much fun. I love it.
So who would be a good fit for your resilience coaching?
I mean, for me, it's really someone who's had a recent diagnosis, someone who's going through a life change, someone that's really been struggling and just can't find the tools to push through and get through. And I think coaching, one-on-one coaching, is really about that deep transformation. I think it's the best way to, because pretty much everybody that I've coached, they've kind of been in this season, and they just don't know how to get past it. They've tried everything. They've watched YouTube videos. They've listened to podcasts, which are great. But you know what I mean? Like, they just need, like, somebody to guide them and help them and take them by their hand and say, okay, we're going to work through this together. We're going to get through this, and we're going to come out on the other side with the tools that you need. And I've seen it. I've just seen so much transformation. So really just, and it doesn't have to be a certain situation. It doesn't have to be a spinal cord injury. It doesn't have to be a diagnosis. It could be empty nesting. It could be, a job change. It could be depression. I do a lot of work with mental health. That's really my heart and my passion, because they go hand in hand with resilience, because resilience is crucial. I mean, research shows that resilience is crucial for your mental health. So they go hand in hand together. So just really, if you're wanting to see that transformation, though, that's who I love to work with.
Okay, so I'm hearing all ages too. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yep.
How often would you meet with somebody, a potential, is it virtual, in person?
Yep. It is virtual. So you can be anywhere in the world. You don't have to
Mm.
live where I live. I do it all virtual, and I have different packages. So depending on, really the depth that you want to go, I have different packages for that. And that's either meeting once a month or 3 times a month or and I use Voxer, which is a app, so you can communicate with me 24/7 through my coaching packages so it's not just meeting one-on-one. It's really communicating back and forth through that, and just lots of tools and things that I've put together, videos I put together, lots of resources that they can utilize in between our coaching sessions. So
Well, I have two health coaches. I have a trainer and a nutritionist. And I have to say, that has been a game changer for
mhm.
my mental health,
Yep.
actually,
Yep.
in the regards to eating and food. So I can relate in a way
It
to what
is.
you're doing. It's such a key. It's so important
Yeah.
to have a built-in cheerleader, two
Yes.
built-in.
Yes,
Right.
and it is. Like, I've had coaches in my life and they've all just brought me so much further than what I could do on my own.
Yeah.
And that is just having a coach in your life, I think, is really, really, really important.
Mhm.
And I myself wish I would have done it sooner. I'm like, why did I wait? For some
Mhm.
reason we're like, I can do it on my own. I don't need help. And that's not the truth. We are created for relationship and created
Mhm.
to need each other. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can chime in on that too. Sometimes when you just sit in your own thoughts and you don't share it with anyone, you're just kind of in that same circle of thoughts. And so just talking to somebody who has the tools and what they need to hear and just to listen to what they have to say after, saying, hey, this is what's on my mind. This is what I'm going through. It is such a kind of a refreshing look.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I didn't think of that. I had gone through a depression in my life, and that was years ago. And wow, did it make a change when I got somebody to come beside me. And
Yes.
so, yes, coaching is such a great, great way to get a fresh mindset. Yeah.
I think it's biblical too. I think
Absolutely.
it's
Yes.
we can't do life alone.
No.
We're not silos. We're meant to be together like I think of we're thinking silos, I'm thinking farmyard. The chickens all hang out together, FYI. They all like group together. And if one gets off, you should see them pell-mell across the yard to the other ones because it's like, wait a minute, we're all my friends. So don't be a silo, be a chicken.
Right.
I love it. That's a great takeaway.
Oh my God, I love it.
That's good. And so where can they find that? The coaching
Yeah.
that's on your website, right?
Yep. So just go to tashaschuh.com and click on the coaching tab. The website explains it so much more in depth. I've got a couple of videos in there to explain, what I provide and what it looks like and how to get started.
Excellent. Okay, let's talk about your online course. You
Yay!
have that going on now, the PATH method, Build Resilience and Thrive. Now, how does that work with these other endeavors? Is that part of your coaching package, or is that a kind of standalone? Or tell us a little bit.
It's a standalone. I've done some recent courses in my own life and I just saw how impactful they were. And I'm somebody that at times, like if I want to dive into something, I'm good at being self-paced and doing it on my own. And that's why I love courses. I think coaching is for people that don't do those things well. So I wanted to provide both, if that makes sense. I wanted to provide, people just wanted some tools and they wanted to go in and do this course. It's really sharing what I do in the coaching, but it's less expensive and it's on your own. It includes my community. So you're not alone. You have that community, but this is kind of at your own pace, at your own timing, like when you can work it into your schedule. But there's just so many things that I've learned over the years, and I just wanted to put it all down in activities and videos to really just leave a legacy of like what I've learned. I'm like, I don't want to leave it in here. I want to give it out to the world. And so yeah, I poured my heart and soul into that course and just really because I know what these things have done for me. And I'm a quadriplegic. Imagine what it could do for our world in terms of just facing the difficulties that we are dealt. And because life isn't fair, we all have things that come up that we didn't expect. Like Bethany said, we didn't plan. And I certainly did not plan for my accident to happen, but I'm so grateful today that my accident happened. I'm so grateful that I'm here. I'm so grateful that I get to share all these things. And so it was really taking that and putting it into a course where people can just purchase it. They can go in, they watch a video, there's handouts, there's journaling, there's prompts, there's so much. And just the people that have gone through it have just said how impactful it is. And so I just love seeing that. And that's exactly why I did it, because I want people to get these tools to help them in their lives.
That's so good. And I mean, we've asked this every time, but I think it's pretty much anybody who likes that kind of self-paced course.
Yes. If you have the drive, and it's not time I mean, I would say maybe 10 to 15 minutes a day. That's all you need, and you get lifetime access to it. So there's no time restraint on when you have to have it done by. You can always go back. You can go back and reuse the tools, redo the activities when different changes come in your life. And so yes, again, I really think this is for anybody, because we all need resilience skills. There's not one human being in this world that says, "Oh, I've got this." Like any difficulty that comes my way is not going to be a problem.
Amen.
Like I consider myself a resilience expert, and I have to laugh because I live out in this beautiful area. And when I built my house 19 years ago, it was wide open, and I knew that all the lots around me were for sale, but it was kind of like, oh, it'll just be one at a time. And then when Doug and I got married in 2013, we've had 3 houses come up and be built since we got married. So that's 2013, it's 2026. And this summer, a builder bought all of those lots. And we have gone from no new houses being built to 8 new houses being built. So my entire, my view, my peace is like pounding every day. And I'm like, you know what? This is resilience. Like, I consider myself a resilience expert. And at the same time, I have to apply those tools every day also. Like, it's never going to become where it's like, oh, I don't need that anymore. Or I don't, that isn't helpful anymore. These are always tools that we can pull out of our pocket and be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to handle this. I'm going to have a good attitude about this. I'm going to be grateful for the time that I had. I'm going to be grateful for all the new people that I get to meet in our neighborhood. So, it's like just all these things that resilient skills help with.
Right. Well, and that speaks to the lifetime access for the online course. I mean, that's perfect. Right. You can just pop it open and say, okay, how did that go again? Because I need it right now.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is that's why I created the course, was because I felt like it could pair with coaching, but it can also be separate, and it can be done on your own time. And yet you can grow in those skills. And I think it is for any age, any human being, male, female, young, old, can benefit from this.
I love all these options based, around resilience.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to provide. And I'm actually in the process right now of taking that course and making it into mini courses. So say, because it's all about PATH, so PATH. Say you just really want to learn about mindset and attitude, you could just purchase the attitude course. And or if you want to learn more about a better support system or the importance of asking for help, you can just purchase the team course. So I'm just releasing that right now, but I'm excited about that because I think the whole program is very cost effective, especially because you get lifetime access, but I think it just breaks it down a little bit with the busyness of life. If people just want to do one area, they can do that.
Great. I love this.
Yes.
I was thinking as you were talking about your neighbors, getting more new neighbors, I remember when my life changed 4.5 years ago, I did not realize that it was going to be so permanent. In my mind, it was very temporary. And someone just kind of popped my temporary balloon this last year. And they were like, Bethany, you keep saying it's temporary, but 4 years isn't temporary. And I was like, they're right. And then I had to change my mindset into, okay, I need to either put down roots where I'm at, right? Or figure out what's next, because if I'm still living in, you can't live in temporary all the time. It's too hard. And then the other part is just, the grieving that loss of having my own house, my own space. That I feel like I grieved, 2 or 3 years ago. But just to have that kind of brought back up for me, it's like, oh yeah, okay, what's gonna happen? How can I make what I'm living now be more permanent and feel more at home and more at peace and more relaxed, and just not thinking I'm living out of boxes and and on that edge, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
So then you need the mindset video
I
that
do.
Tasha has, right?
Every person listening could tell you their own story. You know, this is all happening to all of us.
Yes.
And that's why it's important to work through it.
Oh yeah, I can think of so many, moving to a new area, just all of that. And oh my gosh, what am I, friends, work, all of those things. Like you said earlier, when you're going through a change in your life of, okay, I'm now empty nesting. I'm going through that right now. You hit it right on the head when you said that. I'm like, oh, there it is. So big when you're used to being that mom forever. And my son's actually older, but he's still, he has his own space in the house, and he's going to be leaving now, and he graduated from college. And so it's like, I thought I was over this, and it was like that pang, and all of these, it's resilience, getting through that. So I see such value in all of these things, Tasha. It's so wonderful.
Thank you.
So with these additional endeavors, how are you handling the speaking engagements? Are you still doing those?
Yes. We have an extremely busy fall and year, and I'm really excited. Like, we have just some great engagements and people just reaching out, and we're so grateful for that because I love speaking. I love sharing my story. I love helping others, helping audiences, and we're so fortunate that we get to do it with so many different audiences. We have schools, which is our main audience, but then we do a lot of education, conferences, and organizations and events. It's a very what do you call it, like, wide range of events that we're doing this fall. But I love that. Like, I love that variation and just being able to kind of challenge myself and learning who I'm speaking to and how I can speak to them. So yes, we have a very busy schedule, and we're so grateful for that because it is. We'll be in Missouri, we'll be in Georgia, we'll be in Michigan. And, we were in Virginia and Florida, and now I can't even remember all the places we were this spring. So, and then a lot of local events where we're at, because we're in Wisconsin, and a lot of schools. So we are very blessed in being able to share our story. And, my husband and I, we work together. So, we speak together. And so, yeah, it's really going to be a fun year.
Yeah. Wow. That's wonderful.
So Tasha, are you going to Georgia when it's cold here?
Well, no, it depends. Well, it's September.
Oh.
So probably, you never know here.
Yeah,
By
that's
September,
true.
you can get really cold.
Good point.
But probably not, not January. I wish, right? Yeah.
For those who don't know, Tasha loves to be warm, and she loves like Arizona and Florida and all the hot states.
Yes.
Minnesota's a little chilly for her.
In the summer, it's beautiful here, but
Yes.
in the winter, I have to tell you, I just got a sauna, so that's gonna help me.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna help me survive the winter because I have prayed and prayed and prayed that I would move somewhere warm, and I'm like, no, I know we're staying here, and I'm just gonna adapt. I'm gonna get a sauna, an infrared sauna, so that I can be warm. And there's so many other health benefits with it too. So I'm like, I'll just use that, and that will help me get through the winters, right? Resilience instead of just suffering. What can help? What can help me move through this?
That's so good. I know we can direct people to your website for the signing up for speaking engagements too, right?
Yep, that's all on tashaschuh.com. I have demo videos of me speaking to all different audiences, and also my contact form, also my email and phone number. So would love connections for that.
Perfect.
Do you have any story that just maybe happened recently or maybe a long time ago that stands out as one of your favorite moments or stories through this new chapter of your life?
Oh man, there's too many to count. I'm trying to think. Actually, I do. It was so interesting because I worked with a lady last year who suffers from fibromyalgia, which is, so different from my story because my disability is visible. When someone sees me, they do not debate whether I have a disability. Like, you can see it. My big black wheelchair, my hands that I can't move, but with fibromyalgia, you can't see it. And people tend to think, oh, you're lazy, or tend to think like, what's wrong with you? Just get over it. And it's so painful. And I don't have any pain. Like, with my daily life, my pain level is 0. Like, I have no pain. And her pain level is 8, 10 some days. I mean,
my goodness.
So hard to even just get out of bed. And I was sitting in my office last week, and she had written me a poem. I'll probably cry. I cry a lot. So, but it's all good. but she had written me a poem, and I was just sitting in my office, and it just like something prompted me to read that, and it was how much I had helped her and how grateful she was for God bringing me into her life because she was in a really dark place,
Mm.
in a really dark season, and did not know how to get out. And I'm actually looking at the poem right now. It's right when I work. It sits right here, and those are the things that like of why I do what I do. That's what gets me out of bed every morning. It's what fuels my joy in my life. It's just knowing that there are people out there that I'm helping, and that is all I've ever wanted to do, and that's all I've ever wanted to. Um, I mean that's my what gives me joy every day. People are like, "Oh, you've been speaking so much. I bet you're exhausted." I'm like, "No, that's what fills my cup. Like that's what makes me that's what rejuvenates me is seeing lives impacted." And so as I look
Yeah.
at this poem, I really think of how it sits here all the time, but I just took a moment to just pause and read what she had said. And if I read it out loud, I will cry. So, but it was and she loves to write poems. She's very creative, but just, it is, something that is when you said, a recent example, it's just like that spoke to me so much of how grateful I am that I get to do this work.
Mm. Well, and
Good.
the obedience you have from what God has given you and how you've worked through all of your adversity. And
Mm.
it's like God pouring into you too, to be able to
Yes.
do this,
Yeah. Oh,
right?
absolutely.
To pour out
Absolutely.
that joy where you are right now. So, wow, I love that share. That's
Mhm.
incredible in the work you're doing. So, what would you tell someone who is seeking resilience in their life right now?
That it's never too late, that it's something that we can all strengthen. People are like, oh, well, I'm either born with it or I'm not, or I'm just not a resilient, I'm just not a strong person. I can't. That was a phrase that I said a lot in my journey. I can't do this. I can't. This is too hard. And then I think just forcing yourself, and that, I mean, this is my story, is forcing myself to keep moving forward. For me in the beginning, the first couple of years of my life, my motto was just one day at a time. It's all I could do. Like I could not think about the future, could not think past the day, and it helped me so much because I was realizing that the Bible even says that don't worry about tomorrow. There's enough worry for today, right? Like
Yeah.
just focus on today. But you got to keep going. You got to keep pushing forward. And I just think anybody that's seeking resilience is that this is something that you can strengthen, something you can build, and something you can grow. And it benefits every area of your life. It benefits your relationships, it benefits your work, it benefits your mental health. There's just so many benefits to learning and growing your resilience. And so that is what I would say.
There's one character in the Bible that I often think had amazing resilience, and that's Joseph.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
That story of Joseph when, you know, I think he was a different person when he walked into his brother's camp and was like, hey, dad, you know, dad asked me to check on you guys. I think he had a little different, maybe a little more like, look at me. And then how God just took him down to nothing. And then, then he brings him up, he's very popular. And then he goes back down to prison and then he helps somebody and he's still there. Like he had a lot of resilience because
Absolutely.
everywhere God put him, even in prison, he was still elevated in that prison and put into some, like, he was a leader. He
Yes.
was a leader the whole time, but no matter where he was, wherever God put him, he used his leadership skills. And I think, like, no matter where God puts us in our life, wherever that is, the resilience is okay. What am I making of my, my
Yes.
lemons are lemons. I'm going to make lemonade or I'm going to, eat them and get all sour and angry
Yeah.
with life, you know? So,
The glass half full or the glass
Oh
half
my,
empty,
yes.
right?
They are all such great analogies because and we see it all. I mean, I love to read, and every book I read is another story of someone who went through this extreme hardship and comes out on the other side. And it's everywhere. It's everywhere. The book I was recently reading, she went through extreme hardship and then she forgave everybody. And I was just reading about Joseph of how he forgave
mhm.
his brothers. And I think, gosh, that's so challenging to me. I hope to all of us because there are people in my life that I I God reminds me you need to forgive them, and I'm like, oh, so hard. I could do this. It that's another resilience though, is because when we forgive, it helps us,
Yeah.
not the other person. It frees us. It gives us the peace to move forward. And I just feel that fits right in. It's just so funny that you mentioned Joseph, because I was just reading of how he forgave his brothers and how God's been really challenging me in that. Like, you need to forgive. We had a situation in our family where someone harmed my niece, and he's in prison now, thankfully. But there was a long time where he wasn't, and I held so much unforgiveness because he harmed my family member. It was so hard. And yet I'm like, God, I know you want me to forgive, but it is not going to be today. Like, I'm going to work through this, and I know you're going to heal my heart, and I know we're going to get there. But there again, it's resilience. It's working through that hardship to come out on the other side with more love. I now pray for him. I pray for his family. And I'm at that place where I feel so much peace and almost love towards them in terms of praying for their future, for their salvation, so that they can also be set free, because they live in so much bondage.
That is so good, and such a good way to end this. I'm just full of joy just hearing all of this. I'm telling you. And so I want to just tell everyone that you can find that podcast on all the major platforms, and then the coaching and online course that you can find, as well as the speaking engagements, on the website at tashaschuh.com. And we'll have that in the show notes.
Thank you.
But of course, we cannot leave until we have our Joy Spotlight. It's been a while since we've done one. We've had the summer series going on. So yes. So who's got one? We got a Joy Spotlight.
Oh, I have one. I was thinking about that this morning when you talked about it. I actually have some other exciting news.
Oh,
I just released my audiobook.
Oh my goodness. This is, okay, people, this is brand new. Bam.
I know.
Hot off the presses.
Like literally just happened.
Oh.
I've worked so hard this summer. I'm like, I gotta get it done. I gotta get it released. And it just happened. And that brings me so much joy, because there are so many people in my life that have disabilities that can't hold a physical book, or even have a friend who's been encouraging me because he's blind. And I'm like, I need to get this out for my friends and loved ones that want to read my story. They want to know my story. But I listen to audiobooks. Bethany's got me hooked on Audible audiobooks. Oh, and I'm so excited for that to come out.
I'm excited, Tasha, because I'm going to listen to your book.
Oh, awesome.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
And tell us about where people can find
Anywhere
this.
you can get audiobooks.
Excellent.
It will be there. It will be there. My Last Step Backward is the name of that book. I have two books, but only the first one is on audio for now.
Wonderful. We'll have all these in the show notes.
What a wonderful Joy Spotlight, Tasha.
Yay.
Yay.
Yes.
So exciting.
Wow.
Yeah, how
Well,
about you
Carol,
guys?
I got one. Do you have one?
Go ahead. You go, girl.
All right. I have to set this story up a little bit, because I walked my mom's dog at the park where I usually walk the dog, but I haven't done it a lot. My mom now has a great hip, so she walks the dog, and I have my own workout session, and the dog it's not really a workout session with the dog. It's a slow meander through the park, and we have to sniff at every bush, every blade of grass. I mean, that's pretty much what it's like. So this evening it was you know how you have, like, I just have to set the scene, that summer glow, that golden hour where everything is just golden and it's got a little pink hue to it. That's what it was like that night when I was walking. And I was just going to do a short little, zip. I'm just going to go through, and just like God was like, no, look at how beautiful it is. Go and walk further. So I was walking around the whole park, and the dog was real slow at this one part, and it's sort of like a back entry to the park. I see this lady come down on like a motorized wheelchair with a dog that I recognized because this is the park we always go to and we always walk. And for about 1.5 years or 2 years, I had walked my mom's dog almost every day because she couldn't walk. So I'm like, wait, that's Maggie, the dog. Don't remember the owner's name actually in that moment. So she kind of just wheels over to me and she's like, where have you been? And I was like, I was sort of taken aback a little bit, because I was like, well, I mean, and I had to think about it. Why haven't I been doing this? And I'm like, well, she's like, I haven't seen you in like 2 years. I was wondering what happened to you. And I was like, I'm like, well, I got a job, which is true. 2 years ago, I got a job, and my life did quite change. And it's not like, you don't understand. I saw this lady less than 10 times, and it was a brief moment in time. It was just like, hey, your dog's super cute. She's a Brittany, which if you look it up, it's the cutest dog. If I could get one, oh my goodness. And so her dog and my mom's dog would love to hang out together. And then we would just have this little conversation. It was very brief. Nothing was like, I didn't learn anything about her. I knew her first name, Laura. But that was the extent. So we're sitting there, and she, out of the blue, she's like, hey, a bunch of these ladies would like to, like, we meet and go to this gym and we do classes together like 3 days a week. Would you be interested in joining us? And I was like, kind of, again, taken aback again. And I was like, actually, I said, I would. And I had been praying because I've been doing this working out since January and lifting. And I'm now up to a point where I'm like, I'm going to have to go to a gym because I'm getting strong, guys. I'm getting real strong. So it's great. It's a great problem to have, right? But I was like, there's a part of me that's like, I'm such a better person in a group. And I was like, actually, I would really like, so this is my joy spot. I know it's long. Just how everything worked out. I wasn't going to walk as far as I did. And I did. And I saw her. She was there in that moment. And so I said, well, you obviously aren't working out right now, because she was in a wheelchair. She's like, oh, I had some surgery on my foot. And I was like, oh, but she's like, I'm getting back into it. So we exchanged numbers, and then we ended up walking, and we were chatting. And, you know, like, you're trying to get to know someone. Again, I don't really know her beyond her dog. And so I said, what do you like to do for fun? And she's like, well, and she told me a little bit of her circumstances have been changing. She needs a little resilience. She's like, I want to travel, and I'm planning a trip to Europe. And I said, where are you going? She's like, well, I really want to go to the Christmas markets. Who went to the Christmas markets last year?
You did.
Me.
Amazing.
And I was like, really? I said, Germany or France? And she's like, well, Germany. It's in traditional.
Oh, my
I'm
goodness.
like, I just went there.
Oh,
she's
my
like,
goodness.
no way. She's never planned a trip to she's never been to Europe.
Wow,
so
that
I
is
was
good.
like, oh, I would love to talk to you and just give you all the tips and stuff. And so I'm just excited to like spend some time with her. But again, we never know where God puts us in the moment. Listen to the still small voice. Go the extra place, because this was such a joy spotlight. For me, I didn't know she was going to walk up to me and say, hey, you want to join a fitness? She didn't know I went to the German markets last year, Christmas markets. I just think God put us together in that perfect golden hour.
That's
and
so
I have
sweet.
a feeling that is going to be a friendship for a while.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
just be me.
Amen. Wow, what a sweet story. I love that. That's really good.
Thank you, Bethany.
Well, mine is short and sweet, actually. Mine's about a friend. Have you ever had a friend where you lose track of, or you lose touch with them, and they were a huge part of your life in the past? That happened to me, and I ended up reaching out to her and finally heard back, and we just connected, and we got caught up on our kids and what's happening with us, and it filled me up so much. It was such a joy spotlight. This was just yesterday, so it's pretty fresh joy. So that was my joy spotlight.
Beautiful. Love it.
All right, Tasha, do you remember how this works? We got to do our sign off.
I think so. I think I got it.
Okay, you go ahead and start and end. How's that?
All right. Pour
Out.
Your.
joy.
Thanks for being with us, Tasha.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you next time.
I pray, Lord, right now, as the person who is choosing you for the first time or renewing the relationship, Lord, that they will pray something like this. Lord, I have sinned and I have fallen short of the glory of God. I cannot do anything. I cannot be good enough to get into heaven, Lord. Jesus is the way and the truth and the life, and I see that and I believe that and I receive that into my heart, into my life, into my being, Lord, and I ask that you would take away the sin, cleanse me from all unrighteousness, so that I can live in the home with you in heaven for eternity. And I ask these things in your wonderful holy name. Amen.